And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different here. It's been a while. It's been almost a year. That's been like, what, 8 months? It's been a while. But welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another edition here, to another season of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, the TTT number 33. Yeah. It's been far too long, but we are here. We are back, and we are jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves, as we are jumping into our first best of 3 here in the round 16. This morning in the bottom left hand corner, we have our green Protoss. Our green Protoss player, it is a Triple. And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the yellow Terran representing Exemius Gaming. It is Inexorable. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. For those that may be a little bit newer to the channel, for those that maybe have never seen a Turtle Tussle before, this is a tournament that we used to run on a regular basis, every 2 weeks, every fortnight, a bi-weekly tournament, if you will. We did run during the off season of last year's EWC, and as the name was, that insinuates we were only live with this event during the off-season. Once EWC came back around, that's when we did stop, that's when we did slow things down, and we focused on the Esports World Cup, on the circuit, on Star Zagora, on DreamHack, on all the events that were transpiring at the time. But now that we're once again in the off-season, now we can once again step into the ring with our bi-weekly tournaments to make sure that we have, of course, events for players to compete in on a regular basis. So we do have our we have our Tuna Cup, which is more catered towards the European and Korean friendly time zone. Meanwhile, the Turtle Tussle is a little bit more towards the American, to the Americas, North America, Latino America, and Korean friendly time zone as well. Similar time to the Pegasus Cup, of course, very similar, except this is an hour earlier, so a little bit more friendly towards the Europeans, a little bit more than Pegasus Cup, for example. But yeah, so last week here we are back. Time to Turtle Tussles. Beautiful. Aye. Hold on as I set up our player names here. One moment. Man, beautiful. Likewise, on top of that, as all of our tournaments have been over the past couple of weeks, welcome to the TLMC21 map pool. Let's go, baby, let's go. Welcome to the Old Republic. We've featured this map before. Of course, the Old Republic does have a secure 3-base setup here, with your natural, with your 3rd base, as the first probe is going to go down. Nice pick over the Reaper. Likewise, as a ramp coming into the natural, it can be opened up as time goes on, as the map does progress. But what is the most important thing about the Old Republic here is how difficult it is to take a 4th. The low ground 4th base and the linear 4th base are very spread out. They're very far apart. They're also much more exposed, much more open, and very, very difficult to turtle up and to defend. It goes both ways, but we expect to see aggression out of our Terran player here, out of Inexorable. Behind this, we do have our CC on the high ground. Was a double gas opener, double gas into a faster factory, faster starport, delayed CC out of our Terran player into faster tech, and we'll see where this leads. This can lead into initially a Woodmine drop, can lead into Banshee play. Keep an eye on Inexorable. I should also emphasize that this event, another reason why it's only being run in the off-season, is because this event is sponsored by a very generous and very passionate fan in the chat. So a big shout out to Mike BT for sponsoring and for allowing for this event to occur. This event is not actually funded by our Patreon. We have a Patreon that has been growing quite steadily over time, and our Patreon does fund our other tournaments like SDO, MSO, and Tuna Cup, but not this event. This event is separately funded, I should say, just to be transparent. Eternal Empire 2, kind of. I would say that on Eternal Empire, the 4th base was more secure. Here it is much more exposed. Like, it's much more difficult to actually maintain a 4th. There we go. Drop into the natural. Widowmine does come in. And so far, Decent Connections getting 2 probe kills so far. Yeah, 2 workers. Does target fire. Ooh. That's Inexorable. Does pull away in time. Does pull away. Getting 3 probes in total. Not bad. He pulls back. Behind this, getting into Bio. Extra racks is going to be on the way. I should also emphasize, and it may come into play during this game, as we have a blink-based opener out of our Protoss player. Everything's looking normal from the side of Triple, but we did have a bounce patch. We had a bug fix patch earlier today, a couple of hours ago even, so we do have an updated version of the game. Really, it was a minor patch. Oh, Maestro goes off. 4 probes go down. The reaction there from Triple, unfortunate there. And with that, inexorable, this drop has paid for itself. It has paid for itself here so far. 7 probe kills in total. Very nice damage by our Terran. And behind this, we're building up into an eventual move out. Do you see what I see? I see an extra wave of Raxes on the way. eBay for +1. Stim is in production as well. And we'll see how hard this hits. Basically, Inexorable has a choice to make. He can either throw down 2 more Raxes or a 3rd CC. Does he commit into a 2-base all-in, or does he expand? So we'll keep an eye on Inexorable. Triple does move out. So behind this, going for his Bay, going for Colossus production. But I was touching on it. So there was a bug fix patch today, which fixed a lot of bugs, but did have a little bit of balance changes as well. 2 major changes, of course, was the Ghost. The Ghost now has increased HP a little bit more than before. I believe, I haven't done the math, but I believe it should be surviving an extra Colossus wave or a Colossus volley. Likewise, Storm is a little bit weaker, does a little bit less damage over time. Ooh, as we do tank those tank shots. Okay, let's go. This nation does tank the shots. We should be diving on the tank itself. There we go, does blink in. Tank is going to go down. Late to pull the boys to repair. Marines are coming in to punish. Liberator has arrived, and these Stalkers are going down. Yeah, this is an expensive trade here from a Triple. Hitting out a lot of Stalkers. Oh god, no, he can't get out. Yeah, a little bit of miscontrol here. He is going to be trapped. The Liberator will clean up, and the Prism will not survive. I spoke too soon. There's a recall. Never mind. does recall back home. Just barely. On 1 HP, back. 1 HP. Does recall, does make it back. This is a very late 3rd base here for Triple. So late 3rd expansion, was very committed himself. And here comes the move out. Now, on the one hand, this move out is looking quite hefty. There's a lot of Marauders, Marines, we have our tanks. Stim is done, of course. +1 should finish up in the middle of the fight. +1 attack, I mean. But there should be a Colossus. The first Colossus is about to pop out. Is it going to be enough there? There's a scan. Colossus is revealed. He casts it with the ramp. He's going for the dive. Colossus should be barely safe. No pickup. Yeah, miscontrol there from Triple, and he's done it. He's done it. He breaks through, takes out the pylons, depowers everything at the natural, and then Inexorable, he has done it. I was curious if maybe Triple could defend the natural base with the Colossus, but no shot. He was cool with his pants down, and there's nothing left. There's nothing here. There's a handful of Blink Stalkers. The 3rd base, it's not going to be a factor. Charge is denied. And with that, he does take down the Nexus. The Nexus does fall. Storm is 30 less low damage. Yes. So DPS has been lowered, and it was already lowered before. Goes down. Nice pickoff. Inexorable, he does a rally across the map. I think what I appreciate the most, as Triple's been broken. Triple, he has been broken. He's gonna be chased down. He's down to 3 Stalkers, down to 2, down to 1. Yeah, 1 Stalker left. Let's go. Triple, he throws down a wall of gateways. It's very ambitious man. Let's go. As with this final push, we should be able to clean up and deny these gateways. GG gets called, and Inexorable will take game number 1. GG. GG will play, does take a lead in the series. Again, Triple, he had potential with his Blink Harass into the main base, but he lost everything as a problem. As I mentioned, it's meant to be harass. You're meant to go in, pick up a couple of key units, and then get out. But if you remember, what did Triple do? He blinked in, killed the tank, killed some Marines, and then kept pushing further into the main base, which cost him everything. Once he lost his army, he lost all the momentum, he lost map control, and in the end, lost the game. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. Danger will does take lead in the series, and we're getting ready for game number 2. Right, so the hands were down. What I was going to say is what I love about the patch that just released is that they're still working with the overall like change that they committed to, and still trying to find like some, obviously working with what they have. So what I mean by that is the ghost is still light. The ghost is still light, but has increased HP. So as I mentioned before, ideally is going to be surviving extra Bailing connections and extra Colossus swipe. I feel like the Colossus swipe is the most important thing, but they're not reverting like the light tag change. They're still just committing to that, just trying to help it in a different way. Likewise, same with the Storm change, with Storm doing less DPS, but still having the longer duration, right? Still having that zoning potential. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm still not fond of the zoning tool that the Storm has now become, just because... Oh, so we do have our next game. Just because I do feel like it is just stronger when it comes to turtling up and zoning. So that's still a concern that I have. But the problem here, now that it's doing less DPS, is that now Banelings, they were already surviving thanks to the extra HP. They were already surviving storms and making it through. Now they're surviving storms with even more HP to make it through to get on top of the High Templar. I would love to kind of see that, to see how much HP the Banelings do have making it through a storm now, because that is gonna, again, make like Lingbane Roach Ravager or Lingbane Hydra more viable. It was already more viable now thanks to the HP buff. They were already surviving storms. Now surviving storms with even more HP, now more viable to kind of break through that defensive line and to all in a player. So there's still going to be a lot of strength in that. Here we go. Here we go. So now getting into our next game. Now jumping again into and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of a Celestial Enclave. Oh, we got here, pal. Let's go. We have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss himself. It is a triple. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the yellow Terran player, with the yellow Terran himself from Atlanta, Brazil, representing Zemia's Gaming. It is Inexorable. We go. As we get to cast it for the let's go for the first time. Not the first time that Celestial Enclave has been picked throughout the course of our tournaments, but the first time that we're going to be casting it here, and I'm excited. If you recall, this map did receive the highest rating out of any map in the TLMC21 from our judges. If you recall, I think I gave this a 4. I want to say I gave this a 4. If you want, you can check out the VOD, of course, going through all the maps, going through our kind of thought process. The VODs are over on YouTube. When it comes to Celestial Enclave, we do have a pocket base. Now it is a reduced base with less minerals and only one gas geyser, bear that in mind. There's a mineral wall going straight into the 4th location. Bearing in mind, you can use this to expand a little bit faster at the 4th location. You can also use this to actually pull workers away. So if there's harassment, if there's a run by, then you can actually pull your workers to safety, bearing in mind that this is a wall that, or this is a pathway that can only be traversed by workers. Lings, Marines, Zealots cannot actually get through this, as you can't mine this out. Just as a heads up, we have our linear 3rd. It looks like we're going to be holding off on the pocket base until it's 4th or 5th base. For now, going to be expanding forward here. There is a ramp coming into the natural, so the natural is very secure. There are rocks, destructible rocks here on the left-hand side. This will delay your player from actually expanding forward and taking this 4th base or taking this 3rd base. Only melee, though, only will delay. And we do have our follow-up expansions here towards the top side as well. Now, these bases are spread out enough where even if you take the forward base, the base behind it is still going to be exposed to run-bys and counterattacks. This is a feature that we were looking for quite heavily when it comes to TLMC21, just because maps that allowed for a very secure setup like Throne of Dunes looked upon less favorably, of course, as it just promoted more turtle-heavy play on 5 bases. Celestial Enclave did it right, Fabi, did it right. For now, it is going to be a Stargate opener. Interesting. So Stargate opener out of triple, opening up with Oracle into Phoenix, or just straight up Phoenix first. We'll see how hard he commits to said Phoenix play. Likewise, when it comes to the scouting, Inexorable, he fails to get into the main base, is unaware of what's going on. That's one of the downsides here, of course, is that because of the terrain, there is no direct path into the main when it comes to Reaper scouting. So Reaper scouting is going to be more difficult as the scouting path is a lot more direct, easier to deny. But it goes both ways. At the same time, the main base is also very secure against Blink Stalker play, as there's no cliff face into the main either. So there's a give and take there, harder Reaper scouting, but also 4-gate Blink or 3-gate Blink aggression is almost non-existent, as you have to go through the natural to get into the main. I guess technically you can try to Blink here into the pocket, I guess. For now, this is going to be a Phoenix opener, no Oracles. Reaper Hellion does move out. Also, I finally see pros accidentally killing their own hatcheries late game. I don't think I've ever seen a pro player kill their own hatchery with Vipers. I'll be honest. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened, but it's not something that is fresh in my mind, I should say. But I do agree it is a nice quality of life change. Like, it's the equivalent of like stim, right? Where you cannot stim your Marines to death. You can bring them down to 1 HP, but they won't kill themselves. So it's kind of like a very similar change to that. Where you can't kill your own units with stim, so I guess now you can't kill your own units with Vipers and kill your own buildings. Oh. Phoenix is 8th again. You see Triple getting his own 3rd. It does opt to go for the pocket expansion. I feel like ideally, as I mentioned before, you do want to keep this and hold on to this until you take it as a 4th base. But for now, he's taking his pocket. Seen every pro do at least once. Okay. I don't know, maybe during the EU weeklies, because I don't watch those, but yeah. Don't think it's something I've seen before. Maybe I've seen Reina do it. It sounds like something that Reina would do. Maybe. No. For now, we do have a follow-up, so it's going to be Phoenixes into charge. This is the typical kind of transition that you want to be going for, just because Blink Stalkers have the same role as Phoenixes, which is deny drop play, which is contain the opponent. Likewise, because the map is so large, I would say that we can go into Colossus a little bit faster. Yep, the bay is done. Colossus production has begun. Building up into our Colossi. Oh, meanwhile, it looks like the predictions weren't actually opened properly. I guess better late than never. Predictions are open. Open in the chat. And this is something that we assumed would be happening when it comes to the meta of TVP. I mean, it's a little bit different just because it was a Stargate opener.
Done. Let's hope you click the right one.
TB. But it was a Stargate opener, but we do have a second starport on the way. So double starport, mass Viking production. This will help against the Phoenixes, it will help against the Colossus. We are going to be opting to delay the Ghost Academy for this. And likewise, no 3rd expansion either. No 3rd CC yet. Here comes the move out, spotted by the Observer. Triple is aware. And back on what do we have to defend? We have 1 Colossus so far. There's going to be 2. So 2nd Colossus should pop out in time. It's going to be our 2nd Colossi. Charge is complete. So there's going to be no +1. How many Vikings do we have? 9. 9 Vikings so far, but they're still on the wave. Colossus, they do engage. For now, just focusing on the Phoenixes. And then Jolie has to pull away. So far, nice pickoffs. The other downside of this composition here without Blink Stalkers is that the anti-air to deal with the Vikings are lessened. So there's less anti-air, there's only a handful of Stalkers. Not as much maneuverability. So these Vikings have a lot of potential. And they have potential, they focus on the Phoenixes. 1 Phoenix left, now going for the Colossus. Marines, they try to kite as best they can, but the Colossus, they get so many swipes of. There we go, 1 Colossus finally goes down. GG gets called. Yeah, 2 Marines go down to the Colossi, and Triple ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, the Vikings eventually got on top of the Colossus, but as you saw, so many swipes went off, so many Marines went down in the process. And remember, there was no third CC. We did point that out, that we had opted to go for a second starport, 2 base all in, no third CC, no follow-up. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match here. We're going all the way to game number 3. A little bit of a shame that we didn't get to experience a longer game on Celestial Enclave. One day, maybe one day, but we got to see it for the first time. Just never took a third. Smooch, pappy, smooch. But GG, well played. With that, we're going into our ace match. And where are we dropping? Where are we headed? I missed Dark. Yes, if you missed it. Oh. Beautiful. If you missed it, Dark, he posted, was it last week? I think he posted last week. Dark, he hit #1 on the green ladder, which was really cool. For those that are unaware, Dark, he very often posts his ladder accolades. Even though he's in the military, even though he's, of course, on hiatus from competitive play, he still ladders, still plays the game. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It was actually during, I think it was during Lily Cup. It was during Lily Cup last week, where I did notice, I was like, hey, Dark is laddering at the moment. Okay, that's cool. And then it was like after Lily Cup finishes, I checked social media and he hit #1. It's like, oh, okay. There you go. So it was doing during the League Cup, but here we go. We're getting into the ace match and spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, our new 3-player spawn map, where we have the green Protoss player tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. It is a triple. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran representing Simius Gaming. It is Inexorable. Here we go, and welcome one and all to Mothership again. This is the new 3-player spawn map. Now again, there were multiple 3-player spawn maps submitted to TLMC21, but this was the highest rated one. The other had its own issues, was a little more open, smaller as well, more aggressive. It had its own issues, but here it's a lot more of a larger 3-player spawn map. I would say that you have a very secure 3-base setup here. You have your natural, you have your third base. Originally the natural base was more exposed. The gas geyser was on the top side, the minerals were on the top side, and there was actually a tank spot here that could actually hit the gases and minerals as well. But of course we did provide some feedback, and in the end they were able to maneuver the gases to the other side and move the minerals over as well and fix up the natural base so it can no longer be abused in such a way. When it comes to our third base here, we do have a wider ramp on the left-hand side. We have some rocks here to minimize the surface area or the kind of arc that you can have at the third base. There's basically one entrance here in between your third and your natural that you have to hold on to, and then you can expand linearly here towards the left-hand side in towards your fourth. So the 4-base setup here is pretty standard, it's pretty secure. We've seen players turtle up on 4 bases already. ByuN, of course, comes to mind in his series. So you have your 4-base setup. When it comes to your other expansions, though, they're a little bit more spread out, a little bit more exposed, getting a 5th base, getting a 6th base as well. I think this is our second time casting Mothership. Oh, these are also like buildings that, or I say buildings, like objects that do deny like tank positioning here. We're at it. But now Exorbo scouts top right. He will eventually find his opponent. Does find triple. Once again, Stargate opener out of our green Protoss. Reaper goes in. Gets a purple ready. Gets a probe, pulls away. Oof, as Reaper is going to be shut down, and once again, no scout into the main. A little bit unfortunate there, as we do not quite confirm the tech of choice. So Phoenix is moving out, and Inexorable's in the dark. But that is a very fast eBay here, rushing into +1, rushing into a 3-rax. Ooh, this is going to hit quite hard. So this is a little bit old school, rushing into a 3-rax. If you remember, a way to hard counter this was Robo openers back in the day, going Robo, going into early Colossus production. But remember, this is a Stargate opener into Robo, and I would say that this is meant to almost hard counter Stargate play. What can Phoenixes do in this position? They can lift up one Marine at a time. And it's Mass Marine, right? It's Mass Marine with a couple of Marauders. Now, the reason why we're mixing in some Marauders is because he's not aware of what's going on. I would say Marines are more valuable right now, as he will now confirm. The real Phoenix, not fake. Hoping he knows it's real. True, he doesn't confirm. Phoenix breaks in. Phoenix confirms, and now triple knows. Yeah, shield batteries, pylons. It's going to be a difficult defense for triple. More Phoenixes are amassing. Going into Marauders like this is typically your response if it is a Twilight Council opener. And now he knows. Yeah, now he's aware. SCV is going to be going down. Marine's trying to keep up. Now he's pushing. He is moving out. Behind this, there is going to be the one safety Immortal. Thanks to the scouting, of course, an Immortal is going to be made. Otherwise, it would have been skipped. So shield battery, Immortal. We do have extra pylons on the way. We need those warp ins. So far, just 2 gateways. And Inexorable's army gets spotted. Phoenixes are going to be a non-factor. The Immortal has arrived. There is no charge. Fury can break through. He goes in, he gets 1, he gets 2 zealots so far. The boys are being pulled, and I mean, there's not much to defend here. Should kill, should take down every single probe. Yeah, the probes are going to fall. We're running out of Marines. Phoenixes they can lift, and triple he's holding. Triple he does hold. But at a cost. At a cost of 15 workers. No, lose the Immortal. Immortal goes down as well. And behind this, where's the third? There's no third expansion. Triple, he's stuck on 2 bases. He has a worse economy. And then Inexorably starts up his own third CC. Third CC is on the way. Second starport as well. Once again, going to Mass Viking. Going into Mass Vikings. And who do we favor in this position here? I mean, on the one hand, Triple survives. True. He survived the aggression. He survived the 3-rax. That is true, but at the same time, he didn't expand. He didn't get a third base. Inexorable does have a better economy. Does have a faster third. So getting into a longer game state, I do favor Inexorable, but I also recognize that there is going to be a big power spike here with the first 2 Colossus. As we're going for a Storm on 2 bases as well. Oh. This I'm not too fond of here. Just a really late third. It's not apparent yet, but once the third base kicks in, once an Inexorable lands and saturates his third base, he should skyrocket ahead supply-wise. He should be able to skyrocket ahead. Triple's play tells me that it looks like he's scared of an all-in. Like, he's scared that a second all-in is getting ready. Unfortunately, he never rescouted. Yeah, he never saw the third, so he doesn't know, right? Triple is playing blind. He's playing blind. He's assuming that another all-in is coming. I say that. Looks like he's going for his own, actually. Building up disruptors. The prism is out, which means he can push. Okay. I mean, hey, he's still on 2 bases. Still very committed. And Angel was getting ready. So thankfully, because of the scouting, he's throwing down his bunkers. Viking production has begun. It's still not going to be an easy hold. But if he can survive this, then Inexorable he'll run away with this game. Third base that just now began. Now he's committing, now he's moving in. The Vikings are just now popping out. And the bunkers, they do tank. Yeah, they tank a lot of shots. Colossus are moving in. But nice spread, nice concave, and Inexorable he holds. He holds, he shuts us down. Doesn't kill any Colossus though, but he does survive. And now he can enjoy his third. So here, again, we spoke about it, but Inexorable, he is in a much better position. He's ahead in supply, ahead in army. Good bit first maxed out, has a better economy. Triple was essentially all in, and now Triple falls behind. He falls behind quite heavily. Now, there is a world where Inexorable takes a bad fight. If the Vikings are out of position, if the Colossus get extra hits in, if Storm finishes and we land some juicy connections, like there's definitely a chance for Triple to win some engagements, but he is heavily reliant on Inexorable making mistakes, right? He's reliant on the Terran player just messing up, making mistakes. Otherwise, Inexorable should just run away with this game. He's up to 10 Vikings. Aye, aye, aye. Ghost production has begun. Inexorable should just be pushing with his first 3 ghosts. Just wait for the first 3 ghosts, then commit. I say that. Looks like he wants to start up 2-2. Now, if Inexorable is too passive, then he can allow his opponent to recover in this game. That's also a possibility here. Certainly if he's too passive. Ghosts have arrived. 2-2 can soon begin. There's a 4th CC. And now he's pushing. So there's still only 3 Colossus. No Disruptor. There's a scan. We're up to 16 Jesus. 16 Vikings. Remember, there's no blink. I want to see the Vikings lead. Yeah, it does lead the charge. He can almost one-shot Colossus. Gets 1. There's 2 Colossus left. And nice EMP as well. The EMP on the Archons. The Vikings, they can just go to town. And now we can land the Vikings. Now we can land, and now we can shut this down. Again, there's just no army standing. As we mentioned, Triple, he was essentially 2 base all in. He failed to break his opponents, and then Inexorable just snowballs from there. Just snowballs out of control. Again, the one chance for Triple was for Inexorable to miscontrol the army, but nah, it was fine. Controlled well. Like, if he had gone too far forward with the ground army, then maybe. If the Vikings were lagging behind. But outside of that, we can just stim. We can sim. We can win. God. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Maybe that isn't the... No, that's us. Oh god. Jesus. What? We're right here. No. Am I crazy? Are we good? Oh. Okay. Stream is fine. Stream is fine. But yeah, with that Inexorable, he does push through. He breaks into the natural. GG gets called. And Inexorable takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. ByuN just dying on us a little bit. Feels bad on that, man. But GG, well played, congratulations. Inexorable does claim the series at 2-1. And Triple, he had potential here, but as we mentioned, Triple, he chose not to expand, but he made that decision because he had incomplete information. Remember, he never saw the third CC, so it looked like he was getting ready for a second 2-base all-in. Right after the initial 3 racks, it looks like he was just anticipating another wave, another push, some more aggression that never came because Inexorable expanded. He expanded, took a third base, and Tripoli fell further and further behind. GG. GG, well played, congratulations to Inexorable, does claim the series, and now let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. As we do have some updates here. Looks like for the most part, yeah, the first round has concluded. Let's catch up on the bracket. Greener takes on Perm 2-0. That's a big win for Greener. Very impressive. Takes on Perm 2-0 up against ByuN in the next round. Meanwhile, Mute takes down Coral Viper. Hon Mono takes down Patches. We have Mute versus Hon Mono in the second round. A spicy TVP. Scoring down, we have Replicants. Replicant takes down Hacker's Top at 2-0 up against Percival in the next round. And Inexorable takes down Triple up against Jumi in the next round as well. So we have our quarterfinal matches: ByuN versus Greener, it's Mute versus Hon Mono, Percival versus Replicants, and Jumi versus Inexorable. Let's go. Let us go. And again, coming into this, the two favorite players, the two top seeds, are ByuN and Percival. We'll see if anyone can stop them from facing off. I believe they can. Like players like Replicants, Jumi, and Inexorable, they can threaten these players, of course. And Mute has been popping off as of late. Hon Mono is an animal. Absolute animal. So we can see some shenanigans happening, of course, from some of these players, but best of luck to all those involved as Vita's underway and we are getting ready for Jumi versus Inexorable. I know it's quite late in Europe. So big shout out to all those competing and playing from Europe. Replicants alongside Jumi as well. Thank you. Big shout outs. It's not easy, but not easy being full degen. But for now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have Inexorable versus Jumi. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. welcome back everyone, welcome back to the second series of the broadcast, welcome back to the quarterfinals, welcome to another TVP, once again loading into Old Republic, and spawning in the right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the German Protoss player, we have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone, it is Jumi. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the yellow Terran, representing Eximius Gaming, it is Inexorable. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. And I'll be honest, coming into this, Jumi would be the heavy favorite. True, Jumi, he would be the heavy favorite. But for those of you that know, we were just mentioning it, it is very late in Europe. It's very late. It's like, what, 2 a.m.? It's like coming up on 2 a.m. in the morning over in Europa, depending on where you are, of course. Maybe even later than that, but it is quite late. It is not the most European-friendly tournament out there, and Jumi coming into this did let us know that he's falling asleep. He's he's like Papi, I can't keep my eyes open. It's very possible here that mid-game we're gonna see Jumi just flop on his keyboard, and we're just gonna see nothing happening from his side. Oh no, not like this. Get some rest, Papi. Get some rest. You're an animal. You're an animal. So it's quite late in Europe. Because of that, Jumi's not the most confident coming into these matches and coming into this tournament, but still willing to compete, still willing to take part. So much love to Jumi. We'll see how far he can go. We'll see if he can go all the way, even without any sleep. True. Go all the way, man. Meanwhile, welcome once again to the Old Republic. Once again, we do have a secure 3-base setup. Once again, the 4th base is very exposed on this map, whether it's the linear 4th base or the triangular low ground 4th base. Both are much more difficult to hold on to defend, but I don't really know how applicable that's going to be to this matchup specifically, where very often we do see 2-base all-ins. 2-base all-ins, 2-base aggression is very common in this matchup, at least in the current meta. Inexorable is not really one to slow things down. Even last game on Mothership, when Inexorable took a 3rd base, it was after the 3-rack's aggression, after he had already crippled his opponent, so we're expecting something similar here as well. For now, Stargate open out of Jumi. Again, this is a large map of the map pool, so longer rushes despite ground. It is more viable to open up with Phoenixes, and it's on Inexorable to confirm. Now he pulls away, he pulls out. So far the tech has been unscouted. Never mind, it does go back in. It does go back in, and it will confirm. It dips into the main base, he confirms the Stargate, he's fully aware. Back at home, going for his own 1-1-1. But he said he's locked in. He's locked into bench back. Oh no. What's it, Jumi? The hell? Oh no. Not like this, Jumi. I didn't even know what animal that was. It was a doggo. Killed the doggo. These Protoss players, man. Ugh. Heartless, baby. Heartless. So far, the Reaper Hellion does dive into the main. Or into the Natural, I should say. Shouldn't get much done here. It's only one Hellion. It gets one probe kill. Not the most effective harassment here from Inexorable. Does confirm the Adepts, does get cleaned up, and Jumi behind this going into Stargate, into Phoenix, into Colossus. Very old school. So Phoenix, Colossus out of Jumi. Meanwhile, very fast third TC out of Inexorable. Okay, you have my attention. So hyper greed from our Terran player. If you remember, I assumed that he was going to be going for something more aggressive, but the map doesn't really favor aggressive builds, so going into a faster third makes sense, and we're being quite greedy here. Very greedy. Now, the plus side for what Inexorable is doing, the Phoenix Space Opener isn't really designed to kill you. It can harass, it can contain, but it can't really do much more than that. So Inexorable, he's safe, right? He's safe to cut corners, he is safe to expand in such a manner, and he will have a boosted economy coming into the mid-game. Is that going to be enough there? Is that enough to deal with what's coming his way, to deal with the Phoenix Colossus? Now, Inexorable, he hasn't confirmed the bait, but he can assume, right? You can make assumptions here. If you see Phoenixes, usually it leads into Colossus production. Technically, it can lead into Charge as well. True. So there's two different kind of attack piles or tech pods here for Jumi. It's still up to Inexorable to confirm. Still up to Inexorable. Phoenixes are going to be zoned away. Be zoned back. Inexorable still building up. Should soon be landing his base. Again, Jumi's still unaware of the build of choice. Here come the Colossi. And that is going to be a big power spike for Jumi once he gets his first 2-3 Colossus up and running. Phoenix, they rotate. Third base has now been taken. Here comes the second starport from Mass Viking. And we'll see who's going to be the initial aggressor here. I don't really expect Jumi to push without additional Colossus. So we'll see when he does move out. This is working his second. Second Colossus on the way. Jumi looking for a way in. Oh, the Observer! Oh, he gets it! Oh my, oh, barely nuts, never mind. Observer does barely get out of vision. Barely out of range. One Phoenix does get caught out, but still gets 4 SCV kills, not bad. Once again, the role of these Phoenixes is to contain. To contain the Terran player, poke in and get some worker kills, keep an eye on the main army, while he builds up more Colossus. Temple Archives is on the way. From here, can work towards Storm. Ooh, as we do pick up another Phoenix. Nice snipe out of Inexorable. We're up to 3. Yeah, 3 Colossus so far. Storm is halfway done. It should finish in time for the move out, for the push. And he's almost getting a 4 CC. Oh, okay. That I was not expecting. This is where I'm now concerned for Inexorable, just because of what we've seen already here. If you were watching ByuN, the ByuN series here on Old Republic against Geralt, he had a very hard time securing and defending his 4th base. Now, to be fair, ByuN, I mean, it was a different kind of game, where ByuN, he was up against a more Storm-heavy composition. Storm Colossus heavy even. And 100 defending. Here we have Disruptors on the way. ByuN, he had less Vikings, he had a more of a Ghost heavy composition instead. But I'm still not entirely convinced. We'll see. We'll see if he can hold, we'll see if he can survive. Ooh, that's a nice catch, getting another 3 Phoenixes even. It basically does reset the Phoenix count. Nice catch here from Inexorable. But Lassie's still staying back at home. Jumi able to freely just take more bases, take more expansions. Both players will max out. Because of the faster third base from Inexorable, that's why it's keeping up supply-wise. Typically, that wouldn't be the case. And Inexorable's going for the linear fourth. Okay. So again, there's a very wide kind of angle of attack here coming into the fourth base. Likewise, there's also multiple run-by locations as well. Prism into the main. Inexorable, he reacts with everything. Ooh. Did react. Warpin will complete. At the same time, here comes Jumi. Does push forward, goes for expose. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's almost 4 ghosts going down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Nova goes up as well. Does run away, no major connection. Looks like the EMP was solid. But Zealous is still going in. Yeah, they're still warping into the main. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal Zealot warping, getting in at 90, getting 20 SCV kills, 22. Oof. And it wasn't the main army that dealt critical damage, it was the drop. It was a Prism, it was a Harass. 23 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. And now Jumi, he can back off, he can rebuild, he can remax, and do that again. Inexorable's hurting. He does have currently at least a larger army, and he has to make use of it. He's gonna push. Down to 6 Vikings. We have a heavy disruptor army. Storm zones. Oh god, he runs into the storm. He does push in. Inexorable gets spotted out. Oh god, no! He goes back in too soon. And it does take some getting used to here, the length of the storm. Inexorable is still working on that. He lost some extra units, lost some extra ghosts. Happy, we gotta respect the storm. Respect the storm. Oof. Yeah, leads the charge with ghosts, Nova goes up. Does force a split. And Jumi should clean up. Jumi should clean this up, he should shut this down. Yeah, the Novas are brutal. Vikings force a land. And GG gets called. Jumi does overwhelm, and Jumi takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Inexorable, he for the most part got away with his build, he got away with his greed. But that first big engagement was brutal. I'm referring to the moment when the War Prism got into the main base, when the main army was distracting Inexorable at the fourth location, and we saw Inexorable lose 22 SCVs. That did force him to attack. That's why he had to push. That's why he was committed, is because he lost so many SCVs. He had to do some counter damage. He was forced out onto the map, and he got shut down. With that, he got shut down, took some massive storms to the face, took some Novas to the face as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Jumi can close it out. We'll see if Inexorable can fight back. Let's go. Likewise, we're still seeing Terran players get used to, I say Terran players in general get used to Storm. It goes always when it comes to Terran, Zerg, and Protoss as well, when it comes to the duration of the storm, and again, like the muscle memory ingrained into players when it comes to pulling out and then pulling back into storm as it runs out it is there. It is a thing. It's something that players have to get used to. Same with Protoss when it comes to double layering storms, like we still do see that from time to time. Is setting up the second storm too soon? Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the German Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumi. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Mothership, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the yellow Terran, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Inexorable. Here we go. Guys, welcome one more to a 3-player spawn map. Welcome to Mothership. We're here, back. We're minus 400. Are we? Let's go. We are on the Mothership itself, and we'll see how our players do adjust. Double gas opener out of an Inexorable. He's going for something more tech heavy already. Interesting. Some more tech heavy start. Jimmy moving out with his probe scouts. No. Okay, he is. Are we proxying a pylon? If you notice, Jimmy, he made a beeline directly across the map here. But I think he did rally towards the south. No. Okay, there it is. He's gambling so hard, and he's gambling quite well, actually. This is a closer proxy location towards the top side. Technically it's like equivalent distance here from side to side, but here it is slightly more towards the top side instead. So Jimmy going for the blind proxy. Let's go. There it is, proxy Stargate here out of Jimmy. Okay, I mean, this does make sense. It's less committed, but has potential for a lot of damage. Jimmy, he's now scouting up towards the south side. Jimmy looking for his opponent. Likewise, in Inexorable, he finds Jimmy immediately. So crucial, so important. Jimmy, there's no expansion. Something's wrong. There must be tech first. But the tech is missing. Oh, he doesn't get behind. Doesn't get behind the mineral line. He does not confirm. I mean, he should know that something is wrong. True. Just because of the lack of expansion. Reaper's going back in. Oracle's on the way. And Inexorable, he will see nothing in the main, or at least he should.
Unattended SCVs are known to explode. Oh, careful now.
This is late. Oh no! Almost gets surrounded. Confirms there's nothing in the bases. Cyclone is on the way. And we'll see how much damage is done. I mean, already delaying the expansion. God damn it. Jimmy going for a ninja base. Let's go. I was curious, I'm like, he still doesn't have a base? And the Oracle gets into the main, and again, there's nothing in the main. There's nothing in position. Cyclone's distracted by the Adepts. SCV's going down, getting 4 SCV kills. Not bad. The Oracle gets away, and again, Jimmy, he's having fun. He's having fun, but no, he shades in. He can just go for the SCVs. He can, and he does. It gets up to 7, 8. 8 SCV kills, should not get a 9. Regardless, nice damage. This is so unnecessary. Like, we don't need to get a ninja base. Like, we could just expand that. Getting a ninja third base, sure, that makes more sense. God damn it. We'll see how Inexorable reacts. Meanwhile, double Oracle into the main. Killing more SCVs. Yeah, 4 more worker kills. 0 mining in the main base with no anti-air either. Wait, what? Where's the Cyclone? It's in the drop. No, it's in the drop. I was like, the Cyclone's not at home. It's across the map instead. Medevac goes down, and Jimmy's all over this. He shuts down the drop. He attacks across the map. The Cyclone not at home to defend. It does go down. Inexorable's all in. He's all in at this point. He's rallying everything. He's pulling the boys. We're getting desperate. See, this is where Jimmy, he sees the all-in coming, and then he recalls towards the bottom side. That's like... is the play to go for. I mean, get spotted. We are base trading, by the way. Okay. There was a bit of a misrally there. We are going for the base trade. The sentries are ready. They're ready to force field. If you delay, there's a first force field. Yeah, soldiers have arrived. We pull the boys. We can, of course, lift the buildings. And he's over here, abandons his base. Does abandon. Ooh. Sentry goes down. That was the final force field. Dark Shrine is on the way. Let's go. Getting into DTs. So, because if you focus on one of the CCs, it does catch fire. Uh-oh. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Duration has arrived. Going for the pylon. Charge will. Oh, no, it doesn't finish. Charge 5 seconds away. Does not complete. The probes, get out of here. Yeah, there's no escaping this. Meanwhile, again, one CC goes down, but there's another on the right-hand side. So there is scan energy. Ooh, Void Ray there. The Void Ray's on the way to focus on the CC. If there's no detection, that's game. Meanwhile, these orbitals kill the main. Kills the main base. Attack. Starport catches fire. Does focus down, that means no Raven. No Raven production. CC's flying back. Jimmy, he needs to get on top of that CC. Where's the Void Ray? The Oracle's looking. Oof. Oh no, there's a miscontrol. You lose every single Stalker and inexorable. He can go for the kill. There's no army. There's nothing. Okay, wow, there's no army left. I mean, sure, there's going to be some DTs, but remember, there are scans. Oh, there were scans. Base is found. Void Ray going ham. Oh, the DT has arrived. He's going to land. Oh, he does have one scan. He does have one scan. There it is. Takes down the first Arc Templar. But the Void Ray is going for the kill. Likewise, we can kill the Mule Pan. And GG, wow, GG! GG gets called. He will not save the CC. Without scans, that is game. And Jumi, he will take the series 2-0. GG. The hell just happened? GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations here to Jumi as he does take this take the series. As he does take the series here, does advance on into those semi-finals. And here we go. Here we go. With that, we have our semis ready, Pat. Have our semi-finals ready. As obvious, some updates here in the bracket. Let's go. Let us go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at yourselves. Again, a very chaotic game, very chaotic. I mean, proxy starports or stargates into eventual all-ins. We had we had Jimmy popping up with the ninja base, which did help, by the way, because of the base trade. The ninja base was clutch, was very, very clutch. GG. And with that, we have our top 4. We have our top 4 players. Let's go. Here we go. So GG, well played. Again, Jimmy is going to be going up against Percival. Meanwhile, we have ByuN versus Mute. ByuN did take down Green Earth 2-0. Mute took down Hyper 1. Sorry, took down Honmono 2-1 as well. Did take him down. Percival took down Replicants, and we have our top 4. We have our top 4 players here. We are going to be covering the lower semifinals first, just because, as I mentioned before, Jimmy is very, very... it's very late in Europe, so we'll be covering his series first. So hopefully he won't be too dead by the time he has to play his match. We will accommodate. We'll accommodate. And we'll be covering ByuN versus Mute after this series. Let's go. go. So again, Jimmy versus Percival into ByuN versus Mutes. We have our top 4 players here. These are going to be best of 3s. Both semis are going to be casted. Bear that in mind. And that leads us into the grand finals. Very fun back. It was nonsense, but it was nonsense. It was beautiful. But now we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have Jimmy and Percival. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. welcome back everyone, welcome back to the semifinals or semifinals here of the Tenacious Tussle number 33. We are here, we are jumping right on in. Now we did mention that we were going to be covering Jumi series first, but Percival is MIA, so again, most likely he just assumed that the upper semis would be played first, so we're going to be jumping into set upper semifinals. Best of luck to Jumi, hopefully he can keep it all together, hopefully he can survive and last the night. Best of luck, Jimmy. Best of luck. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Teal Protoss player, the Teal Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. And ByuN does move out early on with a proxy. Oh, bold move here. But setting up here in the natural base of Mutes. Welcome to 10,000 Atmospheres. This is a rush map. Sorry, set a proxy. Going for the eBay block. Not a proxy, actually. Oh, the third base location here is brutal. Oh, God. That can actually be insane. So quickly, just touching back on what we were getting at, welcome to 10,000 feet. This is a very aggressive map, very short rush distance by ground, known for rushes, known for aggression. Because of that, your initial three-way setup is decent, but that's only if you take your triangular third base, but you can only get there if you mine through the patches. If you're forced to expand at any other location at this forward expansion or here linearly as well, these are much more exposed. I mean, here there's two angles of attack. You can come in from the top side, the south side, or you can actually hit with tanks from the other side of this ravine as well. So this is a very exposed location, and ByuN already starting things off with a bit of a win. So already a nice start for ByuN. Does force an awkward location here at a Mute. Here he does move out. Does move out across the map. Making his way towards the main. Mute is on patrol. He's on patrol here. Tonight set scouts. Oh no, he moves across at the wrong moment. Reaper goes in, and probes are going to be going down. Or can he get them? Shield battery is done in time. And thankfully, shield battery is done. Oof, one probe still falls. Reaper pulls out. And ByuN, he at least does see the pylon location. We see the tech as well. It's going to be a Twilight Council out of Mute. ByuN is not fully aware. Rotates down to the low ground, heads towards the natural, and they're going for another probe. He does get one. Second probe does fall. And this ByuN is already going to CC on the high ground. The command center is ready. As ByuN does catch another probe. It's a third probe going down. Q moves out of ByuN. Snipes hallucination. And ByuN is getting into his own drop play zone. Wouldn't mind drop is 1-on-1. So ByuN will soon be moving out. As ByuN, he is dropping. Spotted to see Mute with intercept. Does attempt to. Yeah, the first one of mine does borrow. Going off an hallucination. So far, nice defense here by Mute. As he will lose another probe. That's what, 4? Yeah, 4 probe kills. For 1 Reaper. Drop comes back in. Oh no! Late reaction. Doesn't pull away. Doesn't pull away in time. 7 probe kills. Ay. Brutal loss here from Mute. Mute, he will fall behind. Losing how many probes in total? 10 probe kills in total. Not like this. And ByuN is getting ready for his push, getting ready for his move out. What are we seeing here? It looks like a ByuN push. What that means typically, when in reference in TVP, is moving out without stim. Moving out without stim, without any tech labs here, with Master Marine, a tank, with some support in the air, with the Liberator. We'll keep an eye on ByuN. Yep, here it comes. So again, vanilla Marines, no stim, no combat shields, no +1, just vanilla Marines with the tank. These kind of pushes are what ByuN is known for. Observer does spot this, but because of the losses, I don't know if ByuN can stop this. Bearing in mind that you can set up tanks on the other side of this ravine, as we mentioned previously. Oh, he blinks. Oh no, he gets punished. He blinks in. He's gonna lose every single stalker. Ay, 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 that was not worth it. He gets one tank. A second tank just replaces it. And this is what we spoke. Yeah, GG gets called. He takes over control of the mineral line, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, just a really brutal start there for Mute. Winding it back. I mean, Mute, he was set up to fail just because of the natural expansion. If you remember, winding it back, because of ByuN's successful eBay block, Mute had to expand elsewhere. He chose to expand in the center location, and we emphasize how exposed that base is from both angles of attack and from the other side of the ravine as well, which tanks can fire upon. So just a really, really brutal natural base that Mute was forced to take, and in the lead up to it, of course, stumbled his way into the mid game, losing, was it 10 probes? Yeah, losing 10 workers when it comes to the harass initially, and then of course he just could not defend, couldn't survive the push. GG. GG, well played. ByuN takes the lead in the series, and now we're jumping into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Satellite Years. Let's go. Let us go. Jumping into Satellite Years. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Teal Protoss player. We have the Peruvian Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. We go, and Satellite Years is another really interesting map. Once again, we do have a ramp coming into the natural, so it's going to be a secure 2-base setup. That is true, but the third is more exposed, as we have this area in between the natural and the third base that you can take advantage of when it comes to pushes, when it comes to 2-base all-ins. The third base itself is also quirky, as it does feature a 4th expansion right next to it. Now, we have yet to see any kind of all-ins hit the third base. There are some concerns that this entrance here, this wide entrance, is a little bit too wide, so defending on at your third base can be difficult, but we have yet to really experience any all-ins here at this third base, so still theoretical. Meanwhile, if you can secure your third base, bam, 4th right next to it. So we have a 3rd and 4th base right next to each other here, and that does typically mean that you can set up on 4 bases relatively easily. Once you can get your 3rd up and running, of course, like we were emphasizing the terrain here, the wide entrance. We'll see how our players do decide to open up. Once again, oh, double gas opening out of ByuN and going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. A bit of a more tech heavy start out of our Terran player. Go. When it comes to other features of the map, we do have some destructible debris here to open up some Zelnaga towers towards the left and right hand side. There are some high yield gas bases as well in the center of the map, so 2 high yield gas bases. There is some terrain in the center that can obstruct and that can be used to delay pushes and to engage and to have some micro battles, of course. Does make his way in. More importantly, we have moopies, right? Okay, yeah, we can't see them here, but there are these big hot air balloons. Where's the other one? Is it here? I know there's one. Oh, there's. We'll see if we can get to it. The moopies are taking flight back. They're taking flight. Traveling into the stars on hot air balloons. Oh, there it is. I was curious where the other station was. I think it's here. As now ByuN, he's getting ready for his initial Widowmine drop. It's going to be much more committed this time. Last game, it was a little bit more delayed because of the faster CC. This time, we're going to be getting up to 3 Widowmines. ByuN does move out. Behind this, we have our take of choice, going for a Twilight Council opener. We'll see how safe Mute is going to be. Does it go 3, 4 gate? Does he go up to 3 gate blink, 4 gate blink? Does he take his gases at his natural? The answer is yes. He does have a gas at his natural base. Robo's on the way as well. Very safe play here by Mute, delaying his 3rd expansion. So Mute does delay. We'll see if it's worth it. As the Mind Drop is coming in. Boost into the mineral line. Percival away. Getting 1 probe kill so far. Ooh, the 2nd Widowmine does, sorry, the 3rd Widowmine does not unburrow. Medevac goes down, which means it's going to be a one-way trip, and this has been a lackluster drop here from ByuN. Losing all 3 Widowmines. Ay, ay, ay. For 2 probes. And losing the Medevac as well. So a much stronger start for Mute. Mute he defends. ByuN behind this, getting to zone a 3-1-1 setup. 3 Raxes, 1 Starport, 1 Factory. Getting ready for an add-on swap into Stim. Last game we did push Stimless to go for a Vanilla Marine move out. This time, not so much. This time we're embracing those upgrades, getting to Stim, building up into tanks, getting ready for a longer game state. So we're getting into a longer game. Oh. Meanwhile, Mute, he's actually staying on 2 bases even further here. He did take his 4th Gas Geyser, going into charge after Blink, and throwing down 2 more gates. So getting up to a 4-gate setup with gases, with a Robo, with another upgrade, then into a delayed 3rd. So very, very late 3rd base. In favor of tech, and in favor of more production. You can see Mute looking for a way into the main, but the tanks are set. Tanks are secure. Mute does go for the dive. He does spot Stim. But he does see the tank. Liberator getting a couple of probe kills. Yeah, he doesn't go. Doesn't go for the dive. Observer gets spotted. Keen eyes there out of ByuN. Very nice. Catching out the Observer. So Liberator looking to reposition. Oh, there's the... Oh, you can see. Look, they're saying goodbye. The Moopy's in the corner. Taking off, baby. Taking off. Don't know what the Moopy is. It's like the StarCraft 2 like version of an Ewok. Moopies. As here comes the main push. Remember, Stim is done. Stim is done. Liberator does siege. More probes going down. Mew getting pulled apart here. As he turns everything around to deal with this, which means he cannot slow down the main push. Ideally, when your Stalker's here to pick away at the Marines, to force an early siege, to maybe get a tank, maybe get a medevac. But Mute, he is so distracted by the Liberator that he's just pushing him between the bases. ByuN, he's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the 3rd. He does siege up, dragging the Zealots into tank range. And ByuN, he's done it. ByuN, he breaks through. He snowballs out of control, takes care of all the Zealots, pushes into the Stalkers. Mind shots going up. Oof. And GG gets called. ByuN, he breaks through, he overwhelms, and ByuN, he will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. A very swift series here out of ByuN. Game 1 being hyper aggressive on 10,000 feet. Meanwhile, here in game 2, we saw a bit of a shakier start out of ByuN, but the main push was not slowed down, was not deterred. We saw the observer got sniped, so Mute didn't see the move out. True, like he wasn't aware, he wasn't able to confirm the move out, so he was not ready for it. He was stuck at home, and Mute was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. GG gets called, and ByuN does claim the series. ByuN is going to be our first player to make it through into the grand finals. Okay. Here we go. We're getting into the lower semifinals. So with that, ByuN, he's waiting the grand finals, waiting for the winner of Jimmy and Percival. And this time, our players are ready. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our TVP. Game 1 is going to be on, a map that we have not seen yet today. Game 1 is going to be on Tourmaline. Finish out which patch? Current patch. For those that are unaware, a patch just went live today. A bug fix and balance patch just went live today with 3 distinct changes. I say 3 distinct changes. There were a bunch of bug fixes as well, which did actually influence some other aspects of the game. But for the most part, the damage, the overall total damage of Storm was reduced. So Storm is doing less damage over time. Likewise, Ghost HP has been increased, and the Broodlord, the Broodlord movement speed has been decreased as well. Yeah, Broodlord movement speed has been decreased. So a very short patch, very brief, very concise though, and again, it's really cool to see that that feedback is being taken, that Blizzard are aware of where some of the issues may lie, and they're stepping forward. They're actually being proactive and making some changes, despite which is something that we're really not used to. We're not used to it. We're not used to getting amendment. Remember how long was the Cyclone bugged? Like. It was bugged for like almost a year, right? It's like for there to be some bugs in the game, for there to be some feedback, for there to be some issues in the current game state, and for them to actually patch the patch is crazy. Oh my god, it's crazy. Saying we don't have the ghost skin bug for a year? Was that is that what you're telling me? Oh my god, it's crazy. I'm telling you, the intern is no longer an intern. He's been promoted. He's getting paid. It took 5 years, but it's happening. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, into our fresh series, into the semifinals of the Tenacious Tussle number 33, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the German Protoss player. We have the green Protoss. There's a streamer zone. It is Jimmy. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Coming into this, I would say this is going to be quite close. I can definitely see this going either way, but at the same time, I also know that Jumi is insanely tired, right? It's very, very late over in Europa. It is coming up on 3 AM? Hold on. Germany time. Yep, it is 2:42 AM in the morning over in Germany, so it is very late, and Jimmy is very fatigued as a result. Did let us know it's very fatigued. So that's going to be a factor coming into it, so I do lean towards Percival. But we'll see. We shall see. As Jimmy, he does hide here on the right-hand side of the map, setting up for a proxy, what looks to be a proxy Stargate. Oh, I don't think I've seen this before. Okay. Got some faded out turtles. But also, once again, thank you so much for the support that we've been getting in recent times, of course. Shout out to Mark BT. I mentioned this before, I guess I'll mention it again. But this tournament is not funded via our Patreon. This tournament is funded by a very passionate fan of StarCraft who is willing to step in, and to sponsor a bi-weekly tournament like this to help boost, or to help provide for extra games, to help provide for the players, but also to give us another avenue here to showcase all these new maps as well, right? To showcase all the new TLMC21 maps as often and as much as we can. As voting is very much still a thing. I believe voting will end towards the end of October. Towards the end. So if you do see a map that you enjoy, then make sure you vote. Make sure you get your votes in. Of course, I would also say that you should wait until you get to see as many games as possible on the maps to really confirm what you like and what you don't like. Meanwhile, I assumed it was a proxy. Jeez, well, oh my god. I assumed it was a proxy Stargate, but no, it is a proxy everything. Proxy Twilight Council, Robo, 2 gateways, and a Dark Shrine. See, this is what happens when the brain turns off and when sleep takes over. Jumi, he's like sleepwalking right now. He's oh god, he's crazy. He's unleashed. He's unbound. And Percival scouting. No shot. The SC. I mean, he sees that there's nothing, right? He sees that there's nothing in the bases. Oh no. He's checking. He does double back around. He does confirm. He does get eyes on the entirety of the proxy. He even had an SCV towards top left as well, so he's been looking everywhere. He does find it, does confirm, and now he's getting ready. He's getting ready here in this main. He already had a bunker to be prepared. Bunker is done. Building up his own cyclones. Here comes the Jumi. Oh. Prism is going to be zoned away. Prism is zoned. We're morphing in some Archons. We're getting desperate. No, the Prism cannot get into the main. It's not going to happen. We have a safety Raven in production, which is also brutal. And Jumi goes for Ninja Base. Let's go. Oh, God. So, again, desperation moves here out of Jumi. It's 3 AM gaming. We're going full degen. I mean, A's delaying. Oh, God. Cyclone is on the hunt. Oh, my God. The Prism goes down. Brutal pickup. Spores are being pulled. I'd have to say pull away. They get some SCV kills, but for the most part, Percival, he's in a commanding position. He shuts down the aggression. He shuts down the attempted all-in. Shuts down the attempted rush into DTs. And again, Jumi, he's in a really rough position here. Jumi is heavily reliant that Percival's maybe too passive. Percival, he's moving out towards the proxy. Again, there's just so much dedicated here. Oh, the Archon's gonna go down. Ooh, barely not. Okay. Saves the Archon. DT falls, takes down the Immortal. Shuts down the proxy. We have a second Raven back at home. Oh, the Raven's back. And Jumi, I mean, he's just going for what should be a charge all in. Yeah, he's got charge. He has charge. He's whooping in Zealots. Proxy's cleaned up. And it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing here for Jumi. Now, Percival, he only has half his army at home. True, right? He's going to have to defend with half his army. Jumi, can he find some damage here? Can he find an opportunity? I mean, there's a chance. It's slim, but it's there. But Percival, he's coming back home. Yeah, he's racing back home. We got one Archon, we got one DT, we got some Zealots. The other alternative, of course, is Jumi. Can he catch this army? Yeah, he's going for it. He's going for the tank. He's gonna get it. Nice pickup. Yeah, collapse on the tank. Tank does go down. Marines as well. Nice start. Now he's going for the kill. He's getting us over the final tank. Boys are being pulled. The tank should fall. Oh, the boys, they don't quite get this around. Jumi getting the best fight possible. Este Jumi takes down all the SCVs, pushing into the main base, but Widowmines are burrowing. The mine shots. Nice retargeting. Yeah, it does focus fire that Archon, and Percival holds. Percival, he does hold on. Cleans up all the Zealots. Again, this is maybe the best case scenario for Jumi. Catching out the tanks, still rallying into the mineral line, killing 20 SCVs. I mean, best case scenario would have been to kill. The best case scenario would have been to force friendly fire out of those Widowmines and to break through the Bio army. Oof. Oh god, a rough decision. Does force field, collapses in. The Zealots are trading quite well. Oh my god. Mate, the Zealots are cracked, man. Yeah. But GG gets called, and Percival, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shout out to Jumi though. Jumi, he was down and out in this game, but he made it as close as possible towards the end. Like, the stars aligned. He caught the first army. He was able to break through the second army as well. He was able to cripple the economy, but he wasn't able to kill. He wasn't able to quite kill. Again, those Widowmine shots were brutal, focusing down the Archon. There's a world where if he didn't retarget, if he didn't manually target fire instead, that maybe Jumi gets friendly fire and maybe Jumi breaks in, but GG. GG. Ah. Here we go. Oh. Jesus. Here we go. We're getting into game 2. And game 2 is, we're going to be loading into a much larger map this time. Going to be loading into Old Republic. Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the German Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone down in the series after some crazy builds in game 1, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing something even more chaotic here in game number 2. It is Jumi. Embrace the chaos. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing himself, currently teamless. It is Percival. Oh, okay, it's Percival's turn to cheese, to be hyper-aggressive, to proxy. SCV does move out, he is rallied here towards the right-hand side. Only one SCV, true, so it's going to be 1 Rax back at home, and looks like 2 Rax Reaper. Oh no, just, okay, going for the scouts. Going for the eBay block. Next for... So Percival comes in for the eBay block, but there's a base already there as Jumi does open up Nexus first. Hyper greed out of Jumi. You cannot get greedier than this. So straight up Nexus first, and now Percival, at least he's aware, right? He does SCV scouts, so he knows how greedy his opponent's being, and we'll see how Percival responds. Looks like he's going to be going for his own CC on the, I was going to say on the low grounds, never mind. Go. So from here we're building up. Again, Old Republic is one of the larger maps in the map pool. So we're embracing more greedy play. There it is, CC on location. From here we're building up. Pass the dogger. So again, we have some greedy early game. From here, we're just kind of settling in, getting into our builds. Here, boys are being pulled, and Percival does get a probe kill. Gets one. Can we get two? Oh, not quite. But does get eyes on would be saturation. I'm a little bit surprised that Jimmy is going for a more greedy build here. Based on game one, I assumed that he just wanted to cheese and just wanted to kind of blaze through this series as quickly as possible. Succeed or fail. But no, we're slowing things down. Twilight Council's on the way. We're embracing Old Republic. Jimmy's waking back up. Ah, let's go. He's getting his second wind. He will never go to sleep. As Jimmy does go for a third gateway, so Twilight Council into Blink into a 3-gate setup. Oh, my apologies, I assumed Blink. It's going to be a charge-based opener. Okay, so getting into charge instead. Basically, Jimmy, I mean, I think this is a good read on Percival. Percival, he is known for all-ins in this matchup. He's known for being hyper-aggressive in TVP. Rushing into charge is a way to shut that down, at least tank pushes, but this is a much earlier move out of Percival. No shield battery. Shield battery just now starting. Jimmy gets across. Percival's pushing in. And we'll get the Zealot. Takes down the Zealot, gets another shield battery. As the army does respond. And that Cyclone Lock-on is brutal. Takes down another Stalker. And Stalker goes down. Boys are about out. Boys are being pulled. And this is getting out of hand. It's already getting out of hand here. Losing 4 probes. But I say 4, losing even more than that. Takes out another Stalker. 1 Stalker left. Not like this. And this game ending damage. Yeah, this is just game ending damage here. This was not meant to end the game, but again, the shield battery was delayed. A greedier build. Jimmy down to 1 Stalker. Warping in a couple in the main. But this is game ending damage. Oof. Yeah, it's Percival just rallying, takes down the gateway. Warp gate is still not yet done, just out finishing. Ah. Which also hurt the defense. Finally, the Cyclone goes down. And Percival, he's not stopping. He's not stopping. He smells blood in the water. He knows how close he is to just killing Jimmy. Un poquito más back. Jimmy cannot keep up. Losing every single Stalker. Now there's 1 Stalker left, down to 0. 0 Stalkers remaining. And Percival, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. So we're warping in some charge lots. Forcing friendly fire. Getting on top of the Zealots. Sorry, getting on top of the Marines. Clutch defense here out of Jimmy. The power of the charge lot. True. As the final tank does barely knock her down. Just trying to rally, trying to reinforce. Not the cleanest finale to the game here, and Jimmy, he just wants to kill the tank. He wants the tank. I mean, you can see how efficiently Jimmy's been trading here with a handful of Zealots. But he has no economy, is the problem. Jimmy's down to 30 probes. Economy is not there. At this point, Percival, he should stop rallying. At this point, he's being a little bit too wasteful, throwing away a lot of supply. Yeah, throwing away a lot of supply here. Scan, sees no third. Like Percival, there's no rush. There's no rush. Just calm down. Calm down. Percival, he will lose everything here. The rollers and tanks. Finally, he backs off. It's a bit of a late realization here from Percival, and again, he was very wasteful. Losing more Marines. And this is Jumi's time to shine. Let's go. There's the friendly fire. Poise being pulled. Nice hold position, Michael, with the SCVs. Those hold position. Despite that, Jumi is still breaking through. And Jumi, can he kill? Can he kill? Can he end the game? The mine shots. Oh my god, once again. Gets a Marauder. Gets a Marauder with the Widow Mine. There's 4 Marauders left. Jumi, he hits a third. Percival losing a lot of S. Jumi, can he do it? Like, the Marauders alone. He's going for them. Jumi. The Widow Mines. Oh god, brutal connections. Oh my god. Get some juicy connections on those Zealots. Zealots do go down. Jumi getting 17 SCV kills. 20 SCVs. I guess one of the medevacs. But Jumi just doesn't have enough. Yeah, now there's a bunker. GG gets called. Percival, he will take the series 2-0. He will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to Percival. Shout out to Jumi, because despite being shut down in both Game 1 and Game 2, he fought hard for it. He did fight hard. Did definitely make Percival work for it towards the end. It almost punished him for being overly aggressive, for overextending, and Percival did overextend. That's why the end of the game was as close as it was. It shouldn't have been that close, but Percival, he just threw away a little bit too much. He rallied too much across the map, threw away so many tanks, so many Banshees. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. And with that, we're going to be heading over to the Korean server as we have our top 2 finalists. We have our top 2 players here in this week's tournament. Bam, let's catch up on the bracket. Let us catch up. As we have our top 2 players again, ByuN took down Mute 2-0. Percival just took down Jumi 2-0 as well. As we're heading on over and getting ready for that best of 5. Again, it's gonna be a best of 5 finals here between ByuN and Percival. We assumed that these two, I mean, they were the top 2 seeds of the tournament. We were hoping that maybe there'd be an upset and maybe they would not face off in the finals, but nah, they could not be stopped. This is going to be a rematch. Bearing in mind that ByuN and Percival, they went all the way to the ace match yesterday in the Pegastar Cup. True. Like in Pegastar Cup, they went the distance. It barely went the way of ByuN. It was very close, very clutch. It was a very intense semifinals between the two of them. In the end, ByuN did win, but only barely. Only barely did win during Pegastar Cup. We'll see if Percival can make it as close and even take the series this time. We'll see. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have ByuN and Percival facing off in that best of 5. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals. Let's grand finales here of the Tenacious World Tussle number 33. Again, it's been so long since our last kind of season of Turtle Tussle. Now we are here. Now we are back. For those who are curious, again, this is a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks. We basically put this event on hiatus when the off-season ended and when the EWC circuit began. Now that's where, now in the off-season once again, the Turtle Tussle is back. It has returned as a regular tournament every fortnight, every 2 weeks. So we have our weekly tournament in the Tuna Cup, and now we also have the Turtle Tussle, which is a little bit more friendly towards the Americas time zone, Latino America and North America as well. But here we go, we're jumping into a best of 5 finals, also to Koreans, of course. Also the Koreans is a better time slot for them. But this morning in the right hand corner of Magnetic North, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we embrace Magnetic North for the first time tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Magnetic North, of course, is more of a rush map, more of an aggressive map. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. We do have our secure 2-base setup here with a ramp coming into the natural, but we do have a much more, even then, I don't know if I would say exposed third. The third base can be opened up here by knocking down these rocks. That is true. It can be a little bit more accessible here. One of the big features used to be the high yield gas. There used to be a high yield gas base here on the right hand side. They have since removed that base, so now the ability to rush into that expansion, to rush into an all-in to take advantage of the high yield gas is no longer really there anymore. So we'll see how games do pan out instead. We shall see. So now we are going to be building up. Of course, we are featuring all of the new, I say all the new, we're featuring a full TLMC21 map pool, and we should be adjusting and rotating this map pool next week. Starting next week, we'll be updating and we'll be showcasing the other maps in the map, that's right, in TLMC as well. We'll get there. Likewise, I believe Wardy is in the middle of, I say in the middle of, just because it's like a week-long event, but he's also hosting his own TLMC tournament as well, in the evenings, or in the evenings of my time, I should say. Like in 12 hours. As we have our initial door Reaper opener, it does get into the main, delays the CC, not bad. Will delay the CC. Shouldn't get much more though, is denying mining time at least, and can he get the Reaper? Ooh, does trade. They do end up trading here, and Percival has to get the hell out of here, one shot away from going down. And again, not a bad start here for ByuN. ByuN killing 2 SCVs, killing 1 Marine, and denying so much mine time in the main base. ByuN gets cleaned up, but a nice start out of ByuN. Now again, if you weren't here yesterday, you may have missed it, but ByuN and Percival, they faced off in the semifinals of Pegasus Cup, and the semis in Pegasus Cup are best of 5s. So they face off in a best of 5, and they went all the way to the ace match. It was very close, very clutch. I actually preferred Percival when it came to the mid game. Like the mid to late game, Percival, he had a much better setup, but it was the early to mid game aggression where ByuN did overwhelm, where ByuN did excel. At least in their initial series. Oh, as Percival, he is going to be going for Hyperflight Rotors. Let's go. Hyperflight Rotors on the way. Getting into Speed Banshees, which means this could be indicative of mech, actually. Okay. We'll keep an eye on whether or not we throw down a second factory. Our eyes are on Percival. Meanwhile, ByuN rushing into a third CC. Just very fast third CC here out of ByuN. Hybrid Greed out of our Red Terran. And, oh, we do have a follow-up third base out of Percival, so he's going for his own economic follow-up here. It is later than the third base of ByuN, but on the way nonetheless. So we're building up into the mid-game. Building up. Alright, it's still open, looking for a Rax or a factory. Alright, it's still on Percival. here and does a really research on the tech lab. So ByuN, he's aware that there's at least cloak or rotors, of course. Adult swap. Okay, going for the adult swap, going to Bio. So Bio play out of Percival. Faster double E base here from ByuN. So ByuN is still being quite greedy here. Faster third base, faster double upgrades into faster 1-1. ByuN, he looks like he's going to have a stronger mid game here. Instead, Percival is heavily reliant on these Banshees. Heavily reliant here. Now, with Hyperflight Rotors, they have a lot more micro potential. Again, we've been seeing a lot more Hyperflight Rotor play over the past couple of months, as players have been more and more willing to embrace it. With the most recent patch, it just incentivizes it even further. Players were already playing with Hyperflight Rotors, but now even more so. Or now it's just incentivized. Good call to have the tournaments on the TLMC maps. I like it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like... personally, I've said this before. Personally, I feel like all the online tournaments should be doing this, just because right now is the most important time to showcase them, to get ready for like the voting period. Like, I mean, this is our next map pool, you know, like our next ladder map pool. Like we should be featuring these maps as much as we can to make sure like we iron out any bugs or any unintended changes, or you know, making sure we get to vote for what we want. So in my opinion, all the online tournaments should be doing this, but. Funada Wardy, Funada Stegosaurus, TKL. I know that next week, I believe they should be adding some maps, but I don't think they're going all the way. I think they're adding like 3 or 4, which is better than nothing. But it's also very late as well, because we've been hosting tournaments on full TLMC maps for the past 2 weeks. What? It's been 2 weeks, and they're gonna start on week 3. Like, come on, guys. It's already 2 weeks worth of tournaments back. As ByuN does wedge himself into bases. Ooh, does siege, and he does take over. Yeah, from here, he's just out of position. GG gets called. Percival completely caught out of position. He cannot engage. He cannot save his natural. GG. GG. In one fell swoop, ByuN does take the first game here. This is how TVT can go. It's very heavily positional based, and if you can outposition your opponent, if you can wedge yourself in between the natural and the third, and Percival, he was just stuck. He was just stuck at his third base. He could not defend. He could not defend his own natural. GG. GG, well played. A bit of an abrupt end here to the game, but I mean, that's TVT. It can just end in one swoop like that. Let's go. Let us go. Again, that is one of the more abusable positions on that map as well, on Magnetic North, is that low ground in between the bases. But now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran. It is Percival. We go. Here we go. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Unlike the previous map, this area here is a little bit less abusable. I say a little bit. There is still a ramp and still another angle of attack coming into this area in between the bases. The third base here is more vulnerable, is more exposed. You can see here there's a much wider angle of attack coming into the base. You can attack from the left, you can attack from the center, you can go up this ramp here towards the top side, and of course come in from the right hand side as well. So there are a lot of angles of attack on this map. And technically, there is a chance that you can, again, wedge yourself in between the bases, but it is less abusable here because it's on the same plane of elevation as the expansions themselves. So you don't have like as much of an advantage. There isn't as much of a choke point coming into this. We'll focus on our players once again. Double gas open out of Percival, double gas out of ByuN. Very safe play here from our two players. Both players going to faster factories. we go. Percival does move out. Does move out. He's got his SCV to tank. We'll see if he can delay the CC. And looks like he will. Ooh, SCV goes down. Nice pick off. A nice start here for Percival. Oh, second Reaper has arrived. ByuN, he will deflect. He will defend. But Percival, he will have the slightly faster expansion. Behind this, we have our 1-1-1 out of ByuN. Faster starport. And we'll see where he takes us. He's already getting into his add-ons. He's not doubling down with Reaper Hellion. As Percival, he does have a bit of a power spike here where he has extra Hellions and Reapers. Pokes in. Yeah, pokes in. He should take down the first Hellion, not bad. Armies, they try to trade the Cyclone, does pop out just in time, and ByuN, he will hold, he will defend, but once again, he will be delayed. Losing another SCV. So Percival having some nice small little wins here. Does lose the army, but once again, does have a slightly better economy. Outside of that, we're getting into the mid-game. Both players heading in the same direction. Raven production has begun. Interference Matrix on the way. We'll keep an eye out for the timing of the third CC. If we go into a faster third base, if we go into a heavier bio setup. ByuN does move out. Speaking of fast third bases, there we go. Fast third CC here out of ByuN, rushing into a third base. See if Percival does something similar. Makes in, gets one, gets two Marines. Not bad. Takes up two Marines, pulls away. Percival not too far behind when it comes to his own third base, but likewise also building up into the mid game. Similar to last game, but last game the game ended quite abruptly due to ByuN now positioning. Yo, shout out to the bot in the chat. Shout out to Stream Elements. Big shout out. Let's see the new patch at work. I mean, the new patch doesn't really impact TBT, right? Like the ghosts having more HP, like ghosts aren't really a factor in turn versus Terran. If you're referring to the greater patch, likewise the same. I think the only big difference when it comes to the greater patch in TVT is, of course, Vikings are cheaper, and I mean, we all know that TVT mid to late game is all about air control, so it does make that transition into air Terran a little bit easier. That is true. So it's a cheaper, easier transition in towards the late game. Otherwise, TVT is mostly unchanged. As third bases are being taken. Both players building up. There's no major like timings or windows available here. We have our upgrades on the way, lined up with each other. Getting to stim, and we're slowing things down. Okay, let's go. Wait, we're gonna slow things down. We can soon see like a fourth command center. We'll see who's the first push. At the moment, our players are fighting for map control. walks in, spots the Metamax. Oh, doesn't get the tank. Tank does survive. Oh, right, of course, I should have emphasized. I guess one big change in the greater patch is that Battle Mech, right? Battle Mech is less viable because of the Cyclone fix. You can still make use of traditional mech in TVT, but Battle Mech is off the table. As ByuN does siege first. Yeah, ByuN the first siege. Mass disable though. And tanks are still firing. Yeah, ByuN is still a siege upon the army. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take the fight. He will take a 2-0 lead. Oof. GG. Ay. Again, ByuN, he was the first to siege up. That didn't matter as much because of the mass disable, but only 2 of ByuN's tanks got disabled. Only 2. The other 2 were firing away. Meanwhile, Percival lost every tank. Every tank was disabled. He had 0 damage from his tank line, and ByuN took the fight. GG. GG, well played. With that, he takes the fight, snowballs out of control from there, and Percival had nothing behind it. Just because losing that fight means he will lose every tank. And I'm hoping that we get more of a back and forth. I'm hoping that we can get into a game 4 or game 5. But these have been really quick games, to be honest. They've been very quick games, very decisive games as well. I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more out of our 2 players here, but we'll see. Ay. Both game 1 and game 2 have been very abrupt. Very abrupt. Well, I mean, that's part of TVT, I suppose. See, I feel like this series is a good example as to why Clem was bullied out of TVT and why he doesn't play it anymore. Like, one small misstep, and that's game. Like, that's just... Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the right-hand corner of Throne of the Dunes, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Blue Terran player. We have the Blue Terran himself. It is Percival. Here we go. Do you have the female ghost skin bans? I hear it's bugged right now. It is bugged at the moment. Is not banned. No one used it anyway, so it's fine. No one did use it. I feel like no one used it because if you recall, like the female ghost skin was already bugged previously, and it was a negative thing, if you recall. I guess a positive, I guess. But yeah, no, like players, they haven't been using it. Why would they, right? Just to keep things fair. And of course, ghosts are a non-factor in this matchup. For those who are curious, previously the female ghost skin did not have the light tag applied. Sorry, did have the light tag applied. Sorry, the other way around. Didn't have it. So it wasn't patched, it wasn't reverted, basically. Same with the supply. So the female ghost was costing 3 supply instead of 2. And in their attempt to fix it, changing that supply change, in their attempt to do so, they actually made it so now the female ghost gives 2 supply instead. So just be wary on the ladder. True, that's where it's going to be most impactful, is the ladder. So be wary out there. As if you're making ghosts, you can never get supply blocked. True. For now, Percival did open up with his initial Reapers that will trade 1-1. Percival shoots first. Does shoot first, but defender's advantage. Hellion has arrived, and ByuN will deflect. Oh. Yeah, does deflect, gets an extra volley off. Oof. A brutal start here for Percival. And Percival here extends. He'll lose another Reaper. Ay, not like this. And we just keep chasing, to be honest. Yeah, ByuN, he can't keep chasing. Oh, he takes out another Reaper. That's 3 Reapers going down. And a much better trade for ByuN. Behind this, both players are, of course, expanding. We're building up in towards the mid-game. Oh. That is ace. Yeah, sorry. So it was a 2x opener, of course. So 2x opener here by Percival. He can turn this into a faster stim timing We'll see. As he's continuing Reaper Hellion, by the way. It does double down, does continue. Back at home, ByuN, he's getting ready. He has 2 Hellions. Doing trading. They do trade. Some of the units do line up. Oof. Yeah, Percival, he does not spread. He has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. And ByuN, he is vulnerable until the Cyclone arrives. And the Cyclone is here. The Cyclone has made it. 1 Hellion goes down. There's a lock-on. And Percival's being shut down. Percival, he has to back off. The aggression has subsided. And we're now trying to build up and work towards that transition here. To Marines and to ByuN. Yeah, in the end, it wasn't quite worth it. You can see here in the trades, Percival, he did lose a little more gas. Like, almost an equivalent mineral loss here. Actually, greater loss for Percival. Greater gas loss as well. Just was not worth it. And now he's stuck with all these Reapers as well, which don't really scale well into a longer game. So a shaky start. Behind this, both players are also expanding, getting their third bases. And I'm hoping for a back and forth here. Welcome to, I almost said Sand Dunes. Welcome to Throne of the Dunes. Coming into this map, it is a larger map of the map pool. I would say it is a little bit easier to get up on 4 bases on this map, but we'll see. Again, the games have been very abrupt. I would say it's maybe a little bit more difficult to really get that edge of your opponents here, but it comes down to our players. Comes down to how committed we're going to be here, as Percival has been quite aggressive and quite assertive in the last game. So, I mean, the pressure's on. We'll see what he can get done. Oh, my apologies. Sorry, just a little bit distracted. But ByuN, he got into the mineral line. He was able to get to 8 kills in total here with his Raven. Not bad. Meanwhile, Percival's going for the same. Oh no! The Cyclones to get a look on, and the first Raven does go down. Yeah, it does get a tank at least. Gets 1 tank in the main, but we'll lose one of the Ravens. Brutal loss there for Percival. ByuN was ready. And ByuN has a lead. ByuN, he has a worker lead, has an army lead. Getting his third base. ByuN does thread the needle. Slips into the bases. Scouts at the same time. ByuN, he breaks out as well, locks into the Cyclones. Oh, has to be careful. ByuN, he will lose 1. Lose 1 of the Cyclones. Slightly better trade here for Percival. And here comes the main push. Here comes the move out. Now, Percival, he's expanding behind this. The goal is to delay. The goal is to delay the third base of his opponent for as long as possible and get an economic lead. Still has the Cyclones. Percival is moving in. Ooh, and ByuN, he will lose another tank. Yeah, massive loss here. Percival, he breaks through, disables the tanks. Boys are being pulled, and Percival, he's done it. Percival, he has done it. He breaks the third base, takes down both tanks, takes down all the Cyclones, and may just keep going. Yeah, he can just go for the kill. Yeah, ByuN losing his Cyclones early on was brutal. The Ravens were out of position. Does throw down a couple of auto turrets, still has energy as well. But GG gets called, and Percival, he does fight back, does put a point on the board. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, so much happening so wrong so quickly there for ByuN. ByuN losing his Cyclones because that he had no presence at his third base. The Ravens, he had 3 of them. They were out of position. They were not at the third base, so he could not defend his tanks. And he also lost an extra tank as well to the Cyclones before the main fight occurred. So everything just happening wrong. Insanely fast there, and Percival snowballed into a win. Once again, really fast and abrupt games here. We're not, even though both players, all three games we've gone for faster third bases, but every single time we've gone for a faster third, it coincides with one of the players committing to a push, and either it kills or it fails, and the game just ends then and there. So we've yet to actually like embrace the three base economy. It hasn't happened yet. All three games so far have ended with the first push. Here we go. As now loading into the Old Republic. No, shout out to KOTOR. Oh no. How has that not been remastered? Right? Like, what's who has the rights to that? Aye. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran still leading the series 2-1, but we'll see if he can close it out here. We'll see if he can bring back some of that momentum. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran, the Blue Terran. Tying up the series, or looking to tie up the series. Uno mas, one more game is all he needs to force the ace match. It is a Percival. Here we go. TVT is kind of quiet. Bit of 2 to 3 units clashing, and then all the action happens within a minute or so. That has been how this series has progressed. That is not typically how TVTs do go. Like, again, if you watch the Big Star Cup series, like, it was a lot more back and forth, and we actually got to sink our teeth into a longer game, into like a 3, 4, 5 base setup. We just haven't gone there yet, unfortunately. Like, we've been working towards it. Like, again, it's not like our players have been playing all in. Not at all. Like, these have not been all ins. Like, players, they've been expanding, they've been getting into faster third bases, they've been trying to saturate, but emphasis on trying. Like, they haven't gone there yet. But it also shows how cutthroat TVT is, right? It's like for ByuN to lose one tank, to lose his Cyclones as well, like to lose those handful of units as early as he did means that like his defense was impossible. Like he could not protect his base. I guess it's kind of the way in most mirror matchups, right? Losing some key units early on can kind of snowball out of control. Here we go. So now we're opening up. I'm also surprised we haven't seen a proxy yet. It's very common, especially amongst the Korean Terrans, to like mix in like proxy maxes mid-series, especially in a best of 5. Not at all. Meanwhile, ByuN's in position. He gets one, doesn't get the other, but he does punish the Reapers. Solid read here out of ByuN. ByuN shuts down the scouts. First, he has to get the hell out of there. And especially on Old Republic, we expect to see both players taking their third bases. We expect to see expansions. If we ever don't, then we'll point that out. As welcome to one of the larger maps in the map pool. And there it is. Third CC out of ByuN. And third base out of Percival. So every game so far, we have been rushing into this faster third before any further production building. Oh. Hello. Percival, he does get his upgrades first. Percival does delay. You'll be committing? Nah, no, there it is. So it's going to be a little bit later here, but it's still on the way. There's that third. Slightly more delayed. But otherwise, we're building up into our third bases, and then we should be pushing across the map. And again, every game so far has ended with that push. Every game. Once again, ByuN is going for the faster double E base into faster 1-1. Scan reveals the third. Scan also reveals the add-on swap, so Percival, he knows that he will have the Raven advantage, as he's not swapping his add-ons. So ByuN is cutting at 2, Percival getting up to 3. Likewise, Percival, he also has a faster sim timing. We'll see if he makes use of it. ByuN does land his third. Percival soon doing the same. And I would imagine that Percival's going to be the first to move out. Back at home, ByuN, he's just walling up. Throwing down his depots. Setting up his tanks. Yeah, he's just turtling. And Percival does not move out with his army. As we mentioned before, specifically on this map, you are very secure on 3 bases. Pushing up these ramps is not going to be easy. It's the 4th base that's more exposed. Oh, going for drop play. Okay. Does move out with the double drop. Reaper. Meanwhile, double drop was spotted by ByuN. ByuN, he knows. He sees, he knows. There is one turret here to defend, but the natural base is still a little bit exposed. And Percival, he's pushing. This is a bold move. Bold move here. Now, Percival does have the extra Raven, so he does have more energy. True. 4 CC for ByuN. ByuN is working on 2-2. ByuN, he's investing a lot here into his upgrades, into his tech. So Percival has a larger army. The army is larger. Ooh, takes out those Cyclones. So Percival does overextend. ByuN going for his own double drop. And ByuN, his army is smaller. He has less to work with, but he has defender's advantage, right? Like, it is more difficult to push into this entrenched position. We'll see if Percival can go for it. Meanwhile, that's going to be... Ooh, no cancel. No kill either. Here come the disables. Gets 3. And 1, 2, 3 tanks go down. Boys are being pulled. And Percival, can he break through? Looks like he can. Yeah, he disables every single tank. Despite that, the auto turrets from ByuN. ByuN is holding. ByuN is barely holding on. He will clean this up, but it'll cost him 17 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. A brutal loss for ByuN. The drop across the map doesn't really get much done either. And ByuN falls behind. ByuN, he falls behind. Yes, ByuN, he lived, he survived, but it cost him his entire mineral line. And Percival, he's just chilling. You just back off, rebuild, remax. Pressure's on ByuN, and Percival, he's ready for it. Going for his own double drop. Again, the pressure's on ByuN to make something happen here. We'll see if he can. Now he distracts. Gets a handful of SCVs. While he pulls away, ByuN, he can activate his other drop on the right. And there is an opening. And he sims in. 2-2 is finishing up in 3 seconds. And there we go. 2-2 is complete. Gets into the mineral line. Trades out against the Marines. And going for the production, actually. Ooh, bold move. It goes into production. He will camp. He takes out all the Marines. Takes out a tank as well. Very nice damage. And ByuN, he takes over the production. Oof. Yeah, this should not have happened. We do see Percival. He's racing back to defend. And look at 28 SC. Oh, God. 28 workers. Percival, he had such a strong start to this game, but he lost everything. 28 SCV kills. Almost 2 mineral lines. And ByuN, he's moving out with his main army. He cripples Percival. And Percival, you can see his tanks are still at his 4th. The tanks are still at the 4th base. He's spread thin. We spoke at the start of the game how the 4th base is more vulnerable. It's more exposed. It's a lot more spread out. And you can see it here as well. Does snipe the Raven. We do see Percival rotating. Oh, does rotate in time. Nice, nice missile. Missile goes up. ByuN overextends. Yeah, big overextension from ByuN. Percival, he's holding. He does hold. ByuN is rallying. ByuN, he needs to rotate to another base. Pushing up this ramp is not going to work. It's not going to work back. He backs off. It's on Percival to keep up these rotations, right? If ByuN is going to rotate towards the top side, then Percival, he needs to be there. Where's ByuN headed? Percival, he's headed over towards the 4th. Gonna have 3 tanks in position. ByuN, he scans. Doesn't go for it. He rotates. Percival, he keeps up. He's got 3 tanks in position. Tanks do siege. Oh, I spoke too soon. 2 tanks on siege. But ByuN does not get in. He still fails to get in. Heals up, what, 30 supply, and Percival, he's closing that gap. Just better fights. Better fights for Percival. He's been more efficient. ByuN, he will have that 3-3 timing. 3-3's on the way. ByuN, once again, he backs off, he rotates around. There is there's somewhat of an opening here. If he had Ravens, then he could. Oh. Pushing right down the middle. Oh, good. Yeah, runs into tank fire. 3 tanks go down instantly. And ByuN, I don't think this is quite worth it here. He's getting on top of the tanks, though. There we go. 3, 4, 5 tanks go down. He gets the middle line. Okay. He gets in. He barely gets in. That was not easy. ByuN, he threw away a lot of supply doing that. And he barely did break through. We're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. ByuN pulls away, gets his own 4th. ByuN's smashing his face against a brick wall, but because of the upgrade lead and because of the supply lead, like he can afford to be a little bit wasteful and inefficient. Oh, calm down. Oh. Better get away. He backs up, he rotates. Once again, they cannot push into these free siege tanks. And both players are about to max out. About to max out. Again, we didn't get here in the most cleanest fashion, but we got here nonetheless. Initially, ByuN had a worse start, and then he clawed his way back in. Then Percival was in danger, then ByuN threw away too much supply. So we're evening out. Upgrades are dead even. More starports on the way. We spoke earlier about how that air transition is so crucial in TVT. ByuN going for the doom drop. Does go for the drop. Does get in. Not many SCVs to kill. But does carpet bomb the natural. Dropping into the main. Tries to take over the ramp, but Percival is keeping up. Percival, he will lose 14 SCVs. Now, losing these workers at this stage of the game doesn't really matter as much. 15 SCVs go down. ByuN, he finds a tank. Okay. Gets a tank, actually pushes into the natural. Percival out of position. Uh-oh. Yeah, Percival completely out of position. ByuN gets in. Oh, it cannot keep pushing though. Yeah, it cannot keep pushing. ByuN overextends. Still kills 24 SCVs. ByuN pulls away. It did cost him a lot of Marines, and there were some nice moments here for ByuN. But Percival, he maintains a higher tank count. Yeah, 12 tanks for Percival against the 5 of ByuN. Ay, ay, ay. Percival, he has an insane tank lead. ByuN, he does deviate. He gets in once again. Just going for the mass drop play. Bearing in mind, again, ByuN, he has a very low tank count. He has less than half the tanks of his opponent, but he gets in with the Marines. Gets in, kills one of the starports. Very nice snipe. Now going for the add-ons as well. Going for the tech labs, diving on another tank. Gets one. Oof. Brutal tank shot. Gets a second tank. At the same time, ByuN, he does reposition. Tanks just trying to keep up. ByuN headed for the third. He stims in. Tanks are siege. Oof, that got ByuN, he kind of pushed into the tank line. But still doing so much here. Behind this, he's just mass expanding. Like, ByuN, he has map control. He has momentum. It does take a better fight. This time, ByuN was pre-sieged. Still within range of the planetary. Planetary taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage, and ByuN's just been pulling Percival apart. Okay, now rebuilding all those turrets. Turrets are being rebuilt as ByuN's been abusing this position so often. Speaking of abusing this position, ByuN's doing it again. He's going for another drop, but this time the turrets are ready. Okay, this time the turrets are ready. There's only 3 though. Only 3 turrets and they're spread out. ByuN can still commit. Oh. Sure, let's get 2 tanks. 2 tanks go down. ByuN, he bursts in. We'll lose 1 medevac. But still gets into the natural, this time with a tank. Yeah, he will siege. Takes down the turrets, takes over the natural base, camping the starports. There's 3 starports here. There's 3 starports in the natural. He wants a GG, gets called. He camps to production, and ByuN, he will break Percival. He will take the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played. We finally got a game that I was looking for. GG, well played. As game 1, 2, and 3 were a lot more abrupt. There were a lot more faster games. We didn't really get to sink into teeth into it. But game number 4, we actually had more of a back and forth, right? Where initially ByuN lost 17 SCVs. ByuN had a really rough defense. He had a really rough defense, and then he counterattacked. He was able to sneak his way up the ramp and deal equivalent, if not greater, damage across the map, killing 28 SCVs as well. So very back and forth. In the end, we stabilized. Both players maxed out, and we had ByuN going for a higher Marine count. We had Percival going for a higher tank count. Remember, ByuN had 5 tanks, Percival had 12, but ByuN here was heavily reliant on Marines, heavily reliant on drop play, and he was able to abuse the lack of vision, the lack of map awareness of Percival, right? Percival, he had a really hard time defending his natural. We had drop after drop after drop, making its way into the natural, into the main base as well. That happened like 3 or 4 times. Like 3 or 4 times, ByuN just kept dropping in the same place. Eventually, Percival, he threw down some turrets, but even then, there were only 3. 3 turrets, that's not enough. That's not enough if they're on their own, right? If you have some Vikings or if you have some Marine support, then sure, you can deflect, but he was out of position, and time again, ByuN just abused that. GG. GG, well played. ByuN with a mass drop play did end up breaking Percival. Congratulations, as ByuN, he will be this week's Tenacious Total Tussle champion. GG. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. A shout out to Percival. Again, I'm glad that Percival was able to make a series out of it. I'm glad he was able to make a series out of it and able to hold his own at times. And even here in the final game was very close, very back and forth. And ByuN, he's typically favored here, but Percival, he has been improving in CVT. For sure, 100%. His CVT has been improving. It has to. Like Percival, he's been playing so much TVT in Korea against ByuN, Cure, Bunny. Like there's a lot of Terran players in Korea, and Percival, his CVT has been improving over time, over the past year of play. Has been impressive. Has been impressive to see his rate of improvement, and is still getting there, of course, but has improved quite quickly, quite steadily over the past couple of months. GG. GG, well played. But GG, well played. I'm asking ByuN, I'm like, hey, do you have any thoughts about the new maps? And he's like, oh, I'm not too sure yet. I feel like I need to play more. Need to play more in the new maps. Like, fair. This is why the other tournaments have to follow suit and also make use of the new maps. Shaking my head. We've been doing our part. We've been doing what we can. I think this is our 3rd tournament on like a full TLMC map pool. We had the Sparkling Tuna Cup September finals, this week's Tuna Cup, and this week's Turtle Tussle as well. For those who are curious, we will continue to do so. Like, we will continue to host all of our tournaments on a full set of new maps until the voting concludes, right? Until the TLMC maps voting concludes. And even then, we might run it a little bit longer as well. And then before we switch to something a little bit more stable, we'll get there. But otherwise, GG, well played. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. A bit of a shorter broadcast here today. A little bit shorter, which not too opposed to. To have some work to do, just to catch up on some work regardless. But I hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Hope you'll had a great time. Yes, I asked ByuN, I was like, what about the new patch? He's like, it's a very good patch, very good. But I don't think the ghost is a problem. I think I would agree with that for the most part. But yeah, GG, well played. Just catching up. It's been a long while since I played. Can you still cheese rush Thors as Terran? I mean, depending on your level, you could do anything. Like if you really wanted to. If you really wanted to, you can. I'm pretty sure you can like cheese Thor up until GM. So go for it, baby. Go for it. Go for your heart's content. Even if something is less viable at the pro level, that doesn't mean you can't do it up to GM. Like you're fine, baby. You're fine. But yes, as Sindra was playing, you do it all. Be free, baby. Be free. Gonna build like 6 turrets everywhere. I mean, it's either that or have the map vision, map awareness, or sensor tower to be able to react in time, right? We mentioned that 3 turrets is enough if you have like, if your army can respond in time, or if you have some Vikings to support, right? Some Vikings in position, some Marines in position. If you have something to support those turrets, then you'll be fine. If you're aware of what's coming that way, or if you just want to leave supply there as well. Like, there are other ways to go about it, of course, but I mean, it's also why TVT is very positional based, right? Like, this series is a good example of that. Whether it's positioning with your tanks, whether it's positioning with your bio, with your Vikings, like, it's very positional based. Map awareness and map vision is so crucial in TVT, so you have your army in position, right? So you have what units you need to defend against drop play, or defend against main pushes, or to be ready for tanks as well. Very positional based. That's GG. I'm not wearing pants. Oh no. Oh no. But with that, GG will play it. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And again, this is going to be a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks, every fortnight. Every fortnight, we do have the Turtle Tussle, so you can tune in on a bi-weekly basis. Otherwise, bam, our next tournament, our next schedule, or when it comes to our schedule, our next cast is going to be tonight. You can see here the Pondcast. The Pondcast is going to be later on tonight here at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at, I believe, 9 p.m. AEST. That'll be in 8 hours. In 8 hours' time, we're going to be live with the Pondcast. That is our weekly podcast where we talk about all things StarCraft. What do we have to discuss this week? Let's obviously the new patch notes, true. Obviously tournaments results as well, but I believe there have been some other changes. Let's have a look here. Parting joined Streamer Zone. The offline finals were confirmed for RSL. We have some more invites for SC for All. The TLMC team map winners have been confirmed. So we already have the new map pool on the horizon for the team games for 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. We got some updates regarding the SC2 tabletop miniatures game, and we have a new patch for StarCraft Evolution. So those are the subjects that we're going to be discussing in tonight's podcast, and we of course have all the tournament results as well for the week, so a lot of stuff to discuss, a lot to get into, and of course the hotfix patch, and anything else that gets announced before we go live, which very often we have some last minute additions and some last minute changes, but overall with that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, we do appreciate it. Great rest update. Yes. Got some work to do. Got to catch up on some stuff. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys later on tonight for the podcast, or we'll see you guys over the weekend for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, you can help support us by following us on all the social medias. You can follow us on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. We upload VODs on a daily basis. If you want to see more games on this new map pool, you can do so via YouTube. Check out the Sparkling Tuna Cup, where we did already organize a bunch of tournaments, a bunch of high-profile games on the new maps. Check them out. Do check them out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later on tonight or in a couple of days. See you then. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you then.